Hey, this is Lee Waller, and welcome to this quick tutorial. In an earlier tutorial, I looked at drawing masks with the rectangle tool, the ellipse tool. Now I want to take a look at drawing masks with the pen tool. The pen tool, which is located right up here next to the ellipse tool, will allow you to draw masks around irregular shapes. Before we jump into that, you need to understand one thing about the pen tool. It will draw paths, which are open masks, and it will draw masks, which are closed paths. To demonstrate this, first I need to make sure that the layer that I want to draw this mask on is selected in the timeline. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to click once. That sets a point, and then I'm going to move over, click a second time, and there is a path right there. If I want to draw a mask, I need to continue clicking points for the shape that I want to create. Then I need to come back to the beginning point where I started and click back on that point to close the path. Now that is a closed path, which is a mask, and you can see now I have masked out all of this other area and have created a mask around the area that I want. Okay, I'm going to delete that mask. Now I want to demonstrate to you how the pen tool can be used to create curved masks. This takes a little more work and a little bit of practice to get good at this. What we want to do is whenever we're going to curve the path, we need to click and drag. That is not the path, those are handles, and I'll demonstrate those to you in just a moment. I'm going to let go of those, and what I'm going to try to do is get as close to a circle as I possibly can, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click and drag again. Now there is my path, and hopefully you see how the handles are beginning to shape the path. I'm going to let go of that and come down here and set another point by clicking and dragging so that I have those handles on any path that I want to curve. I'm going to let go of that, come on up, click again and drag, let go, and now I need to close this point if I want it to be a mask. At this point, it's just a path, and that can be useful in animating other objects, but for right now, we want to close it so that it is a mask. I'm going to click again, and now I've closed that path. It's a mask. And you can see that, of course, we have masked out this area and we are maintaining the area inside of it. Now, let's take a look at our handles and our different points. I can come to these different points now and I can continue to shape this mask. I can click on that one, make sure that I have that one selected, and I can adjust these handles. I can draw them in, draw them out, move them up and down. All right. One other thing that you may notice is that these two handles are constrained together. What if I want to just affect this side and not this side? We can hold down the Control key, and that will break loose those two handles, and we can adjust this separately. Once they're broken apart, you can then adjust both of them separately. You can continue on to another point, doing the same thing. All right, now I'm going to take a look at how we can use this in a useful situation. I have this window here, and I want to cut out these areas so that we can see through them. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this is much easier if I can see this up close. And I'm going to start right here in this corner. Make sure that the layer is selected before you start drawing. Click on it and drag out some handles. Then I'm going to come up here to this point, click and drag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to adjust that a little bit more. And we will have to do a little bit of work on this after we've drawn all of 4 points. But I'm going to come down here now, click. I don't need to drag there because I don't need to curve this line. I will fix this in just a minute. I'm going to come over here, click this point, and now I need to close out this path. Click, and I'm going to come up to this point. Again, break these apart by holding down the Control key or the Command key. And I'm going to come over here to this point and again, hold down the Command or Control key and break those loose. You'll notice that this is doing the opposite of what we want. It's masking in rather than masking out. So I'm going to come down here to my layer, open up that mask, and rather than add, I'm going to go to subtract. All right, there is our window cut out. I need to adjust this point just a little bit. Those points are already broken apart, so I'm just going to grab that handle right there and adjust this a little bit more so that it fits better. All right, going to continue on to demonstrate this a little bit more. Going to start down here with this point. Don't need to click and drag. Just click that point. Now this one, I do know that I want it curved, so I'm going to click and drag. I'll come back and fix that in just a moment. Click and drag. And I can fine tune this after I get the whole mask drawn. Just click once down here and then click to close. Remember that we always have to close these. I'm going to come up to these 2 points and hold down the Command or Control key to adjust that. And do the same for this one. Break those handles loose, and now I'm going to adjust this curve. Again, this is not being cut out, so we need to come down here into our timeline, select that mask, and choose Subtract. I'll do these next two pretty quickly. Click and drag. Click and drag. Just click once down here, and then let's close the path. Going to hold down the Control or Command key to break those two loose. Same for this one. And then adjust this curve right here. Kind of dial that in, and I need to subtract this mask. Going to move over very quickly and do this last one. Click once. Going to come up here because I want this one curved. Click and drag. And then click and drag because, again, I want that curve. Come down here, click once, and let's close the path to make it a mask. And adjust this. Hold down the Control key to break those handles loose. Do the same for this one. And then fix that curve just a little bit. All right, last thing I need to do is subtract that one. And now we can zoom out and kind of take a look at what we've created. So that is drawing masks with the pen tool. For more in-depth look, check out my other After Effects tutorials.